Hello and welcome to Footy Judge Mo, people. This is Counter Views. First day after a festive holiday. I hope everyone had a good Christmas, good holidays, good New Year's Eve, and now we're back to the grind. And also, the transfer news. Transfer market is open. There's a lot of news to talk about. But the first thing, let me just welcome my two great guests, Jerry James, of course, and Pirchi. How are you guys feeling? How was the holidays? Everybody is good?
Well, like the star on the Christmas tree, man. Like, do you know what I mean? I'm just here. I'm on top of the league, unexpected. But yeah, it's been a decent break. Decent break.
How are you, Perchi? How's everything?
I'm good, fresh, back, new channel, new times. We're moving. We're good. It's going to be a good 2024, my friend.
So, there's only one place to stop, people, which is you hitting the like button and quickly get us up the likes, because the like button is how we get this show going, how we get people actually watching the channel. Almost at 9K, 200 subscribers, if I'm not mistaken, or 300 subscribers, if I'm not mistaken. So let's get the subscribers up a little bit. And let's start by the game yesterday. And there's only one place to start. 3-2 to Liverpool. Penalty called for Diego Jota to kill off the game and to kill off the momentum of Newcastle. How did you guys see that penalty for Diego Jota? Was that the right call, though?
I'll let Jerry go first, and I'll have my speech after it, I think.
You guys are throwing me in the mud, isn't it? All the top Reds, the fans are going to kill me for this one. I'm going to be honest. There was contact to the letter of the law, I guess, but that for me was a blatant dive. Had that gone against Liverpool and Newcastle had equalised, we would have been fuming. Had Salah missed his second penalty of the night and not scored, I think that would have hurt even more. I just don't understand. I just don't think he had the confidence once he took it round the keeper. I think the ball went too wide, and he didn't have the confidence to lick it on the left foot, which for me was uncharacteristic of Jota, because the other day against Burnley, you just left foot bang, instinctively smashed it across the box. I just can't for the life of me see why he didn't take the shot on. And I mean, look, we've got the goal, we got the penalty. I'm happy from a Liverpool fan's perspective, and it's probably something if you when people use the kind of the analogy that, you know, luck has its way of finding you again, or I mean, the decisions balance themselves out over the course of a season. Considering what we've had in regards to obviously VAR and Luis Diaz's goal being disallowed, and the goals being disallowed against Burnley as well. Yeah, it's just or West Ham, sorry. Yeah, I mean, it's leveled itself out. So yeah, good for us. I mean, I don't think it would have changed the outcome of the game per se. But still, for me, that was criminal.
I said my opinion yesterday on the channel. The reason why I'm starting with this, because, and I'm gonna tell you, Liverpool, as Hussam says in the chat, right? Liverpool had all the chances in the world, right? Should have killed off the game, but they didn't, right? That's the reality. That's the fact. Newcastle brought it back to 3-2 with the 3 chances they had. If everybody thinks that call wasn't the right call, that means that call is the one that killed off the game. That's why I'm starting with it. Because yes, Liverpool deserved the win. You had the majority of chances, 7 XG, 15 shots on target. The Ravka is pulling saves out of his ass. Yes, right? But at the end, if people think that call isn't the right call, that means Newcastle could have equalized. That's it. So, Perchi, what did you think? Before I say my say, and I said it yesterday for the people that actually watched me, and I want to hear it from you. What do you think about that call, the penalty call?
Well, look, I'll be honest, I'll hands up. I was on a flight, so I didn't actually watch the game, but I've actually seen this clip. I've seen the clip of it. This is what's wrong with football, right? And I'm actually going to say this. I don't actually blame Jota for going down. However, I did think it was an absolute shocking decision. The problem is players have now, whether it's intentionally or unintentionally, have now been their mind is now in the mode of win a penalty. Because there was no reason why he couldn't stay on his feet there and tap into an open net, right? players are now instinctively going, as soon as I get contact, go to ground. Doesn't matter how minimal or how big it is, it's go to ground. We see it all the time. Players that I love, I see it happen at Spurs do it. We've seen players do it at Spurs, all clubs across the country. It's a problem nowadays where football fans are now going, oh, it's a dive. But the problem is we've not officiated it out of the game. If, for example, hear me out, if Jota was shown a red card for that dive, he never does it again. And I genuinely stand by it. People go, oh, it's not a dive. He has. He's won a penalty, but he's doing that because he knows he can get away with it. He wins a penalty, and Jerry's got a good point, right? If Salah doesn't score that, he looks like the biggest idiot on the pitch. Liverpool don't go on and win the game because of that goal. It finishes 2-2, and you go, you've dropped 2 points. Because Liverpool were the better team. I said, didn't watch the game, watch highlights of it and watch parts of it. Liverpool dominated it. But I just sit back and go, nowadays, we look at football in this vacuum of, there was contact. Could Jota have stayed on his feet? 100%. Would he have scored if he stayed on his feet? Yes. Why is he going to ground? It's crazy for me.
All right. So for me, it was 100% a penalty. There's no doubt about it. And the question was there contact or not? Yes, there was contact. The elbow actually landed on the back of the foot. And I think that's enough to put him down, to put him off balance. And he has all the right to go down. Him staying on his feet or not, it's a subjective. It's a choice. He chose to fall down. And Dubravka is unlucky. It's an unlucky penalty from Newcastle's point of view. And Liverpool have all the right to say it's a correct penalty. It's as simple as that. And I said that yesterday. And I actually, in the beginning, I didn't see the contact. If you watch the contact again, actually, the elbow lands completely on the foot, and that put him off balance. And he has all the right to go down. It was 100% correct. It didn't need the referee to go to the
VAR. 3 stages, though, Mo.
So, okay, hear me out. In the beginning, I actually thought that the contact is much earlier, right? Actually, there is a contact later when his elbow went down. Dubravka himself told Botman that he put him down, that he actually tripped him, actually. And that's why you didn't see, which is, and if you look at it from a logical point of view, why the Newcastle players, none of them actually complained as much, like the first penalty. In the first penalty, they thought the contact was minimal because Botman said, I barely touched him. But to be honest, that one, even Dubravka said, I tripped him. He literally told Botman this.
When did he say that? I'd want to know because I didn't
right
see
after,
it.
Right
because
after,
I know after the game, he said, I don't think it was a penalty, but I have to accept it.
Right after.
Someone send me the clip, please. Yeah, someone send me that clip.
He did this, and Botman asked him, and he literally told the camera was right. He literally did and told Botman, hear me out. Okay, listen. I'm going to ask you a series of questions. Okay.
Okay, can I ask you before you ask? I'll ask you a question first. Yes. I'll ask you a quick question. But my point being is are we now at a stage is that any contact, any whatsoever, it's a penalty? Because is that where we're coming to now? I feel like that's where we are.
Okay. No. Okay, you asked me and I answered no. So you're concluding something and my answer is no. But let me ask you something. Was there contact? Yes or no?
Yeah, there was contact. Okay. Yes, not denying there's no contact.
Are you sure how tough was the contact? How hard the elbow went down on the foot? Are you sure?
Did the contact need him to go to ground?
See, that's subjective.
But did it though? It did for me.
Exactly. It's subjective for your opinion.
But
there's only Pirchi, there's only one fact here, people. Yep. What is the one fact that we're sure about? There's only one fact here.
What, there was contact made?
That's it. Everything else, did it put him off balance? Right? Did he need to go down? Why did he choose to go down? All of that is subjective. All of this is subjective. The only objective fact here is that there is a contact on a player that went past the goalkeeper. Was that contact enough? It might. Did it look for me? So, for example, for me, I actually know that if someone has his foot up and the elbow went down on the foot, I think it's enough to put you off balance. Did he go down a step later? Might be.
No. Right? But that's my problem though. So any slight contact can go and put you off balance. If you still have the ability to keep your stability up for one step, the second step, and then in that moment realize, oh, I've been hit, I need to go down for a penalty. Yes, there's contact.
So I don't think
and you
it
throw
was
yourself
that
to the
far.
ground. No, I think it was. I definitely think it was. I've seen Jota take ridiculous amounts of contact before and finish in different circumstances. So I don't know what I would say, and I think the bigger issue is there an issue with the what Percy's alluding to, the fact that any type of contact now in the box is a penalty? Because for me, there has to be a sufficient. I think VAR couldn't overturn it because the ref had given a penalty, and they had to go and check to see whether there was contact.
And that's my next question to you, Jerry.
But
I thought that this game. That's my next question, which is now comes to the next. Was it a penalty? In my opinion, yes. But that's the next question. Why at Anfield this Liverpool team they get the calls and then so hear me out. For Liverpool, sometimes at Anfield, majority of the time, they get the call and then we wait for VAR to overturn it. Like, I think the contact was very, very what it called? There's a word for it. Like, it wasn't obvious. Yes, subtle. Like, I couldn't see it until there is many replays. And even the first one, why did Andrew Taylor was rushed to give that call to Liverpool and then we wait for VAR to correct it? Do you see the difference here? Because it makes a big difference. If you don't give the call and then you wait for the VAR to tell you, well, by the way, you need to look at this. But he was so quick to like, okay, penalty. The first one, which was the contact, is very subtle as well. And the second one, why do you think that happened?
I think because even in real time, he's probably gone and seen if you're facing the play like this, you're not to the side, so you can't go and see the contact. Once Dubravka jumps in at an angle to try and obviously protect the ball, and Jota taps it round and goes down, naturally, when I looked at it watching, I was like, well, we're taking him down. Why did Jota go to ground? I'm saying that was more or less an open goal. You would have just taken on his left foot and finished. So clearly, and obviously he's tried to make the decision and be quite assertive without going to VAR. And I think that's where, that's where he decided to go that decision. But for me, I think that's the larger issue is what's going on in terms of contact, because then in the actual game, you've got Joe Linton elbowing someone or punching someone in the back whilst they're running, and that's not looked at by VAR. Ref doesn't spot it. No one's alerted to it, and there's no yellow card given. So that's the issues I'm having. It's like in the box, any contact is a penalty.
Yeah.
But outside of the box, I don't think he would have given that as a foul. That's my worry. So
do you know what? Do you know you're actually bang on. This is the thing. We microanalyze everything now that happens in the box. We give the biggest reward by microanalyzing. And you're right. You could see an absolute clattering tackle that you go, that's a red card or a booking or whatever. Like they've taken somehow, nothing gets given, and we forget about it, right? Like we used to back in the day before VAR. The second it happens in the box, the microscope's got, was there enough contact? I agree. I think the ref gave the penalty because he's looked at it and gone, there is no reason why Jota would have gone to ground unless there was contact. In the sense, like, because otherwise he would have had to tap him, right? So that's my theory. But just to sort of go full circle to what Mo was saying, the problem is when the referee makes those decisions, right? The referee kind of instigates the theory of a penalty, right? Like it's in the mindset the penalty's been given. It then needs VAR to basically systematically rule out a penalty. Whereas if the ref doesn't give a penalty, like here, if the ref doesn't give a penalty, I don't think he gives that as the VAR doesn't change the decision on the field. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I get. That's what I'm saying. I say that I say, but in Serie A, I say that for bigger teams, like the call is being given, and then you're waiting for the VAR, and it's like, oh, is it clear and obvious? It might not be. It might not be a clear obvious. But anyway, I think that's what it is. Going back to the game and Mohamed Salah and I wanted to ask you guys something about Endo as well. How is this guy finally arriving at Liverpool in terms of performances and stuff like that? Is it? We were just sleeping on it. That's the point. We were just what? How is this guy performing like this? How is this guy doing the job of a DM that well?
I think when you look at what Liverpool have going forward, the job of a DM for Liverpool at this moment in time it's not, I wouldn't say easy, but all we necessarily needed was a destroyer DM. If you were looking at the types of DMs we were going for the likes of Decore and do you know what I mean? When you look at their kind of their ability on the ball through the eye test or even kind of their progressive passes per night, if you look at the stats, it's nothing fantastic. But what they did is could cover ground a lot. Now, Endo's obviously taken a while to settle in, had some decent performances, but the more games he's played, the more kind of assured he's looked in that role and the more he understands what he has to go and do. And you've seen that the amount of times he's been able to go and snuff out fouls really quickly or snuff out obviously balls out really quickly or, you know, make a tactical challenge in a game that, do you know what I mean? Otherwise, do you know what I mean? A McAllister might have missed or a Coach Jones might have missed, not in this game, but per se. He's done really well. And I think the fact that he was an unknown entity, the fact that, you know, he wasn't the marquee signing that all Liverpool fans wanted, it made it seem to everyone as though there's this gaping hole because this guy clearly is not good enough. If he was good enough, he would have went for him in the beginning of the window. We didn't. It was a last-minute panic buy. We overpaid Stuttgart for him. He's 31 years old and he's Japanese and no one knows him. So it's a kind of like, okay, let's not go and obviously talk about that. They need a real guy in there. What we've seen, though, is Klopp was right when he said, look, just give this guy patience. I really, really wanted him. I think we can see why. I think he's different to all the other midfielders. But like we've discussed in the show a couple of times, he's a necessary cog right now. And he's going to be sorely missed when he goes to the Asian Cup because he does the things that no one really talks about really well. So the defensive side of the game from a midfielder's standpoint. The rest of our midfielders are all kind of gung-ho, a bit more forward-thinking. And we've had to obviously change McAllister's role, which has limited him as well. Endo is comfortable. We're not expecting him to do anything else going forwards. And we know that defensively he's solid. So it's been a good, really, really good signing.
Do you think Endo can be the answer to this Liverpool? Because everybody was saying they need a DM, they need a DM, they need a DM. Do you think he can continue these performances?
I don't think he's. Do you know what? He's one of those. I heard a load of Liverpool fans like going, "Oh, he's awful." Blah blah. I don't think he's that bad. I think he's. But what I think Liverpool do need, he needs to be the squad player. I think he's a good player, by the way. I think he's a good player. But I think Liverpool need to go and get another one in. And then that way you've got competition, right? The problem when you've only got one, and you could argue in air quotes, not the greatest. I don't think he's that bad. I think he's a good player. But I think Liverpool now need to go and get another one in. Ironically, there is actually the DM is in Merseyside, but he's in the blue half. Onana would fit really well into that midfield. I think he's a top centre midfielder. DM, he's very good on the ball. I think he would fit right in. I don't see that ever being a transfer that Liverpool managed to get over that. I mean, if they could get Onana from their rivals, would be absolutely crazy. But someone of his sort of ilk, I'm a big fan of Douglas Luiz. You know that. I think Liverpool, if Liverpool have to go out there and get one more. I think Endo's good as your squad player, helps in that midfield, so you've got depth there. But I don't think is he going to be one of those you can rely on all season. I don't know. That's the answer.
The reason he's a good player. The reason why, and this is why I go back to my point, is what Endo's doing isn't anything special, outlandish. Yeah. It's not, I'm playing this final pass outside of the book Travella or assisting players. He's not, do you know what I mean, defending 1v1 against loads of players because obviously the system works really well. But what he does in his role is something that you can replicate every single game. So I don't expect Endo ever really to have any games that are below a 7 out of 10 because it's just all I've got to do is just clean up and pass the ball to Szoboszlai, give the ball to Jones or give the ball to Virgil van Dijk, and I've done my job. And
not Szoboszlai though.
Not Szoboszlai, not feeling him though. No,
we'll talk about that at the moment.
Right, we'll talk.
He got injured. Am I right saying he was
hamstring injury. But that for me is why that's something that you can sustain. Now the question, the reason why I agree with to a certain extent is if there's an injury to Endo, we then end up with the same situation having McAllister in the DM, which means that on the ball and stuff we're much better, a bit more progressive, but he's not going to do the job that Endo's doing. And he's not going to be able to cover the ground, and he's not as defensively, astute as an Endo. So that's the issue where we might have that. He's 31. He's going to obviously the Asian Cup now. We don't know. Look, his injury record's been fine so far, but we don't know when that changes. And if he becomes a bit more injury prone, then we're in a situation where we need one anyway. Yeah. So I would want to protect that. But when you think of a DM role, you don't need to necessarily have a Rodri if you've got someone that just does the job really, really well within a system. If you can just he's just responsible for doing the defensive side, then you're sorted. You don't need a world class.
He's one of those
all-out action midfielder that plays in DM. That's like a Rodri. You don't necessarily need that.
Someone like him, he's one of those in the modern day talk of a double pivot, where he does all the dirty work and you've got someone next to him that does a bit more traveling with the ball and a bit more progressive, right? I think that if you could work quite well in a two, like in that sort of DM role. But look, I think Liverpool have got to go and get someone. Ironically, they're top of the table, 3 points clear at the top. I mean, it says it all about the Premier League this year, right? It is in essence a bit wide open, right?
Yeah, it is. I said it's anybody's league, and I'm not ruling out Arsenal. People want to rule out Arsenal. I'm not. Like this 2 games loss. Look, Liverpool drew back-to-back games. Yes, against Arsenal and Manchester United at home. And Man City had 5 games without a win. Like this is anybody's league. Are Arsenal favorites? No. Are Liverpool favorites? No. I think it's still Manchester City because of Pep Guardiola, because you still have Kevin De Bruyne back. But I'm not going to rule out other teams. And that brings me to the transfer news. And what Liverpool have been now, somehow the Daily Mail, and it's not me, it's the Daily Mail and other news outlets saying that Liverpool actually could be signing Kylian Mbappe in the summer ahead of Real Madrid. It's not now, but Kylian Mbappe said that he would be open to joining Liverpool ahead of Real Madrid.
I'm not having it.
Why?
Not having it.
I'm literally reading the news.
I know you're reading it. I'm not having it. And even Jerry, it is.
Are you not having it, or you're scared of it?
Could we?
Are you having it, or you're scared of it? Okay, so let me ask you this question, which is a simple question. Do you think if Liverpool and Real Madrid offer the same money now, after how Real Madrid, last summer they wanted him and all the stuff, would he be looking to go to the Premier League or La Liga?
La Liga. He'll go to Real Madrid. They're the biggest team in the world.
They are the biggest team. By the way, this word, the biggest team in the world. Yes, they are the biggest team in the world. But hold on. AC Milan. Okay, hold on. AC Milan is one of the biggest teams in the history.
Yeah.
Probably we can say second best in the history of the football, with 7 Champions League dominating eras, the amount of world-class players and World Cup winners and Ballon d'Or winners that played for AC Milan. We can say that. Yes, they won only 19 league titles, but 7 Champions League and all the stuff. But at the moment that it's a Serie A aren't at the level. Is La Liga at the level of the Premier League? Why would a player choose La Liga ahead of the Premier League?
Because Real Madrid are the greatest team in the world, my friend.
Yeah, but
I know what you're trying to do. I love what you're trying to do, Mo. I love it. But
look at the smirk on Mo's face.
I know he knows what he's doing.
I don't understand.
This isn't now footy judge Mo. This is now fishing judge Mo. He's gone out fishing because he knows what he's doing. He knows his game. Real Madrid are the greatest team.
Yes, they are the biggest. I never argued that. That's so I'm asking a question. I keep asking a question about the league, and you keep going back to the club.
No. Regardless, it doesn't matter about the league. Real Madrid, is where he will go, because where Mbappe is a Galactico. We like to use the word Galactico. Mbappe is that player, right? Whether we like it or not, he's that player. And I don't want to burst Jerry's bubble, because I bet he would love an Mbappe at Liverpool. If he go, I will happily do. I will do a little bet on him, because I'm so adamant it will not happen, that he would go to Real Madrid over Liverpool any day of the week. Any day of the week. I don't think Liverpool will even go near the sort of value of money that they'll have to pay him every single week. I don't think Liverpool will enter anywhere near that. Liverpool have a very, very, very concise structure.
Actually, that's not true, though. Actually,
I would say that. Yeah,
can I add this point? But sorry. So the money for Liverpool to Mbappe is a very simple one. It's Mohamed Salah's transfer fee, because Mbappe is free in the summer. It's all about giving him like 150 million will cover his wage for about 3 years.
Why? But will Liverpool break their wage structure for Mbappe?
If you're not going to
That's the
break it for
question.
Mbappe, who would you break it for? I'm not getting this.
No.
Like, who do you break it for? You're not going to break it for Morgan. You're not going to break it for
No,
Morgan.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. If Liverpool want to be a serious football club, they go and do it. I'm more talking about
Liverpool
will
are a
they do
serious
it?
football club without Mbappe. Listen, bro, what are you saying, bro? Why?
My point what I'm saying is are Liverpool willing to offer the sort of money Real Madrid will offer him in wages? We're doing wages here. Look, are they going to be anywhere competing with that? Because Real Madrid will just go boom. We'll put him on $500,000 a year. $500,000 a week. Sorry.
So I can ask you the same question. Do you think Vinny Jr. will be like, yeah, Mbappe makes that much and I'm making this much? No, increase my wage. Do you think because their main target actually after Mbappe is Haaland, do you think if Haaland goes, Haaland will be, yeah, Mbappe has this much, I need to buy this much. The difference is if he goes to Liverpool, he's the only guy. He's the only guy.
I think that's the issue for me, because when I think of like the package that Liverpool could offer, there's so many ways in which Liverpool are attractive. So Liverpool, of course, they are a big, obviously, second biggest English club in biggest English club, top 5 biggest clubs in the world.
Yeah.
The Nike deal, and the fact that Mbappe is the biggest Nike athlete at the moment means that Liverpool have a lot of leverage in that regard with FSG as well. 100%, because the branding makes sense. It's like Mbappe at PSG being a Nike athlete is a massive, massive brand. If he goes to Adidas, Nike will try to go and protect their value as much as possible. Speaking hypothetically, what I would say is it depends. Look, I still think he goes to Madrid. It will be mind blowing if Mbappe was to come to Liverpool. What I would say is that if Mbappe had any kind of, all right, I'm going to try and separate myself from Haaland, and I'm going to want to do a Ronaldo, Messi 2.0, like regen kind of battle between two superstars in the same league, you go to Liverpool. There's no one else right now in the. Do you know what I mean? Bar City, there's no one else in the UK. Really,
Arsenal fans don't want him because they have Martinelli. That's what.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they don't want him. They don't want him. Look, like I said, I think Liverpool would have to go and put the money up to show that they're very, very interested. And if they did, then it would. I think then Mbappe would have a decision to make. I think up to this point, Madrid are always going to go and pay over the odds for Mbappe because of what a Galactico means to them.
There won't be a transfer fee, but someone put in the chat just a moment ago, the signing on fee is going to be astronomical, right? I mean, that will be a transfer fee sort of like, remember when the Haaland deal was, it was only 50 million. Yeah, it was nearly 200 million quid by the end of it, and everything's added on. Mbappe will be probably double that sort of conversation. Like, yeah, there may not be a transfer fee, but you'll have everyone getting paid. I like these semantics that you're playing, Jerry. I love it to bits. Oh, he's a Nike athlete. If Mbappe goes anywhere, he will go to Real Madrid. I stand.
Okay, fine. Can I ask you something? Listen, guys, 200 people here. Can we get the likes up?
Big up everyone in the chat, by the way.
Guys, hit that like button, please. If you forgot to hit the like button is underneath the live chat. I'm just gonna ask you a question. Why do you think Haaland chose Manchester City though?
Why did he go to Man City? Because
why did Haaland chose Manchester City, even though we knew that Real Madrid were kind of like sniffing around him? Why do you think
Guardiola?
Yeah.
What you could do at City, like he could be the one that helps.
Everything you say, I'm gonna translate it to something. So what I'm hearing is that Klopp is not as attractive as Guardiola. Is that what you mean?
I think there was a tie though with Man City, right? His old man played at Man City, so there was some level of connection with Manchester City and being the best team in air quotes, in the world, you could argue.
All right.
You could argue. I mean, they are definitely now. So there is definitely reasons for that, is my theory.
But do you think for Mbappe, it would appeal to him? Obviously, I don't know. Appeal to him to compete with Haaland on a domestic level as well as on an international level?
Well, listen, by the
Would
way,
that challenge appeal to him? That's the question, because Haaland's at City right now. Unless you go to United, Arsenal, Chelsea, you ain't going to compete with him on a domestic level. So.
On a footballing conversation, if we're going to solely make this about football, yeah, why not? That would be for the product we have in the Premier League. It makes it better, but we know very well that transfers aren't all done on sporting integrity. Yeah. They're not all done on football matters. There's look at all the players that have gone to Saudi Arabia. They've not necessarily gone all over there for footballing reasons. They've gone over there because they're getting paid a lot of money, right? Let's call it what it is, right? Can Liverpool get an Mbappe? If Liverpool get Mbappe, it will be the best. It will be one of the biggest transfers in a decade, maybe even bigger for them. If they sign an Mbappe, my worry is does Mbappe? I put Mbappe and Haaland very differently. I think Haaland is a different style of player. I think Mbappe is very much of a image kind of player. Don't take that in a bad way. I mean, in the sense of he will be the poster child of Madrid if he goes there. It will be very similar to them when they signed Ronaldo from Man United. That level of boom, we have got the best here. So can Liverpool do it? Listen, I won't rule it out. I'll give you 1% that he goes to Liverpool. I'll give you 1%.
It's astonishing. Sure. But moving on from Mbappe and Liverpool to actually Spurs, and the latest news is that this guy, the defender, Dragovic, what is his name?
Radu Dragoshin.
Dragoshin from Genoa is going to join Spurs. Well, is that the signing that Spurs need, though? Or do you need a better signing? Do you need a forward? Do you need a striker? Okay, listen, Spurs are linked to Gibbs White, though, if people don't know. But Nottingham Forest said they're... So Nottingham Forest told them already that they're ruling out any move in January. They can't give out their main guy in January. So the links are already there, but they can't do it now. Let me do the super chat about Mbappe from Alex. Thank you, guys. Everybody that liked the video. Over 200 now. See, you like the video? We get more than 200 people watching. So the more likes we get, the more people will watch this video. Alex is saying attraction from Liverpool and the money, not the issue. Klopp want potential disruption of Mbappe to the squad. He is a spoiled prince, not a smart business. Let me tell you something, Alex. I'm actually not Mbappe's biggest fan. I actually think he's a diva. And I like if someone tells me, do you want Mbappe as a football player in your club? I would say yes. Do you want Mbappe as an asset at your club? I would say no. I would say he might ruin the rest of the players, actually. Like the likes of Szoboszlai, the likes of McAllister might get annoyed. Even the likes of Jota. There are a lot of people. Trent Alexander-Arnold. I wouldn't want Mbappe to play for my club from a personality point of view. He's a diva. You might do more harm, and this is going to sound so strange. You might do more harm to Liverpool than good if you sign Kylian Mbappe, because you just signed a lot of young players. Gravenberch, Szoboszlai, McAllister, and you have Trent, you have Konate. This guy is a diva. So I agree with Alex. Jurgen Klopp might say, you know what, I might sign maybe someone below a little bit, but they will be great. Yes, people, thank you, LB. Big up the people that joined from LB. Make sure to hit the like button. Big up LB with the transfer news and saying, I was watching a little bit. He said, Kimmich would want to join Manchester City. Believe that or not. But hey, we'll talk about this. And we'll see if Man City would want a midfielder or not. Thank you, people. We're talking a little bit about Mbappe. I don't think Mbappe suit this Liverpool team in terms of like personalities. It's a big deal, though.
I actually get what you're saying. It could go both ways, though, Mo. It could. Do you know what I mean? It's one of those. It can go both ways. It can really galvanize if you get him in and you go, look, this guy is the real deal. Like, and everyone, players could play better and up their level, right? It kind of can go both ways. Or if he comes in, everyone goes, hang on a minute, who's this guy? He doesn't do this. He gets special treatment.
I mean, put it this way. If he was coming in, it would have to be a consensus that the team want him to come in. And the reason being is straight off the bat, he's coming in and he's like, I want the number 10 or I want that number 7 shirt.
Yeah.
Luis Diaz got the number 7, McAllister's got the number 10. So it's going to have to be the team want him in. The one positive I can actually say is the fact that we've got Klopp. Now, if there's any manager that can deal with a personality like that and can make the decision on whether to go and get a player, it's Klopp. If Klopp doesn't get the player, then he doesn't want him. If Klopp goes and gets the right personality, it means he can deal with him.
I disagree with you. I don't think anyone in the world can deal with Mbappe. I actually don't think any manager in the world can deal with Mbappe. He has to be the handler of the team. You have to play Mbappe under a coach that has a weak personality, unless you play him under someone like Ancelotti who doesn't give a fuck. You know, whoever Ancelotti is someone who isn't emotional enough to get involved in something with Mbappe. Like he isn't that guy, Ancelotti. You know what I mean? Like you can do whatever you want.
Like a Benitez, like he just wouldn't care. Like
but
what I'm saying is Klopp wouldn't sign him.
Mbappe.
Yeah, but I think Klopp wouldn't sign him if he didn't think I can get a hold of him.
Probably he will have to talk to him.
And Klopp's one thing when you look at players, he always looks at the character. He goes and meets the players first and wants to understand the character first. So he's not going to go and just sign him because he's Mbappe. He has to fit the squad. So for me, if Liverpool go in for Mbappe, it means that, and talks have happened, it means that in a hypothetical world, it's okay, Klopp's sees something and says, actually, that's a player I can definitely work with. I can handle this player. And to be fair, I've got no reason not to trust Klopp because every player that he signed, in terms of personality, they've been good. They've been fine, like as a basis. So,
yeah, 100%. Spurs though, would you that defender though? Is that what you need though?
Is that what we need? Yes, we're crying out for a centre half right now. It would be madness not to sign one. Yeah, it's exactly. Look, he isn't the number one target. The number one target was Todibo from Nice. Nice has said, no, unless you pay X, Y, Z, extortionate amount of money, we're not selling him unless you break the bank for him. I think getting this lad in, he was the second choice. The manager has approved it. I think that's it. The manager has signed off on the player and said, I want him in. He will fit my team. I watched a bit of him. He came through at Juventus, went to Genoa on loan last season. They only signed him for 8 million euros in the summer just gone, and now we're buying him for about 30 odd million euros. Look, he fits exactly what we do now with the way that we defend. He's good on the ball. He's a good football player. Doesn't always equate to being a good defender. Like he's not your old school hard-nosed defender. But look, is he the sort of player that we need? Yeah. But what we need is I'll be happy if we sign him in January. In the theory that in the summer we're bringing in the like of a Todibo style player, and then you've got in the space of one window you've got one centre half. Next one, we're crying out for a centre. We can't play Emerson Royale at centre half any longer. Like I literally can't. We can't sign. I'd rather sign Harry Maguire at that point. It's that bad. I think Emerson Royale is an awful defender, and I think I've had this conversation on it before.
Yeah, can I ask? Yeah. I think he's a good defender. He can play ball on the ground, and the way that Ange Postecoglou develops player. Well, let me ask you something, Perchi. Do you believe if Spurs get all their players back, they can finish above Arsenal in the top 3 or top 4?
Can we? Yeah.
Do you think the probability is higher than before with this Arsenal performance lately?
I'm actually going to say yes. I still think Arsenal will probably finish above us this season. But what I'll say, the probabilities is this on this. And I think someone made a great tweet the other day, and I'm annoyed I haven't saved it. It was a great one. He said, Spurs are playing with 4 fullbacks at centre-half and they're getting results over the line, whilst Arsenal at the moment, whilst having a couple of players out, 2 or 3 or 4, whatever you want to call it, and they're struggling at the moment. Listen, this could just be a burst. They could go on and win 3 or 4 on the bounce, and then you go and then Spurs could lose 3 or 4. 3 games changes everything. We always have this conversation on it. 3 games can change anything. Spurs could lose the next 3 games and Arsenal could win the next 3, and then they're 10 points above us. Click of a finger, just like that. You go, hang on a minute. Spurs are going to struggle to get into the Champions League. Arsenal are in the race to win the title. But it could go the other way round. Arsenal could not win the next 3. Not saying that will happen. Spurs could win the next 3, and you go, hang on a minute, boom, 3 games changed everything. We could be 8. We could be 8 points above them in 3
What's
games.
the probability then? You think, Perchy, of that happening?
What, finishing
No,
above them?
no. I have a better question. I have a better question
Oh,
for you.
I love it.
I have
I
a
love
better
this.
question for you. 10 games of the season, quarter of the league has gone. Spurs with their starting 11. Do you believe you played the best football in the country? And do you believe you were the best team in the country with your starting 11?
I thought we played the best football in the country in patches. I don't think that every game we went, we were unbelievable.
Yes, of course. Nobody does that. But overall, were you the best team in the country with 10
we
players?
played some since I still think Man City play some of the best football. I think the way that they
Even in the first 10 games when you were first.
I thought we were scintillating in some of the stuff. It was
All right.
everyone became Spurs fans, not actual Spurs fans, but they actually watched a lot of Spurs' football because it was a bit all like hell for leather kind of spell.
So the question is, now Arsenal 20 games in, haven't played the sensational football they played last year. You had a lot of injuries and you're still 1 point.
Yeah.
1 point behind them.
1 point behind them, yeah.
1 point behind them. You're getting your players back. Van de Ven is coming mid-January, I think in a week or 2. He said he's
He comes back for the Man United game next game.
I think James Maddison comes the game after. That's what he's saying. So what is the evidence that Arsenal will finish above Spurs? If you at your lowest point, you still 1 point behind Arsenal.
Oh,
logical. I'm just being the logical.
No, listen.
Actually, just be honest. You're scared. You're scared. You don't want to
be
burned.
They are. He's scared to say it, bro.
I'm just not one of those.
Look at the smile in Perchy. Look at the smile.
Listen, do I think we'll finish above Arsenal? I predicted we'll finish above them at the start of the season, so I'll stick by it. I said we'll finish 3rd and they'll finish 4th. I got a bit ballsy at the time there, but look, can we look? This is the question, right? There's no pressure on Spurs this season. There's no pressure. There's pressure on Arsenal though, because if Spurs, hear me out, and I'll flip it. If Spurs finish above Arsenal this season, are we now looking at Mikel Arteta going, hang on a minute, what's going on here? You've spent all this money and a bloke from Australia has come over for a year and he's just toppled you. Because Arsenal we should be nowhere near Arsenal right now. We should be nowhere near them. We've had a load of injuries. We've had a new manager, a complete change in philosophy. We should be nowhere near Arsenal. They should be winning the league. They should be nowhere near us. Yeah. So that's why, for me, there's no pressure. That's what I said all along. I'm on this show all the time, every single one. No pressure for Spurs this year, because this year is about building a philosophy, getting back into Europe, and building from that on into season 2 and 3. Season 2 and 3 is when I'll be like, no, hang on a minute. Now I'm expecting something. I expect us to be winning trophies, FA Cups, League Cups here and there. I expect us to challenge for the likes of whatever European trophy we're in, if it's the Europa League or whatever. Arsenal, though, on a different front right now, to be winning the leagues, challenging at least for the leagues, competing in the latter stages of the Champions League, winning domestic trophies. So I think both clubs are in totally different stages. But the fact that we're halfway into the season and we're 1 point behind them, I think it's telling at the moment.
Yeah,
100%.
I think, boy, I listen, I like Spurs a lot. I like Ange a lot.
Before you go, look at this. Gooners, you guys Arsenal fans, I really appreciate you guys being here. Again, do you know why it's not stupid, Yard Gooner? Do you know why it's not stupid? Because of Arteta being stubborn and signing Havertz, and Ange Postecoglou coming in, and within 3 weeks he has a style of play, implementing it, improving players, getting not only that but also getting results, and having a lot of injuries, and having someone like, even with Emerson Real as bad as he is, right, there is still a style of play. Yes, and he's adapting. That's why this is a topic, because it brings me back to the point, and I'm going to let Jerry talk after this. It brings me back to the point that says, hold on a second. Is there a better manager out there than Arteta that will increase the probability of Arsenal winning trophies then? And is it that easy? Is it just something like just do the scouting, hire someone that knows how to play a style of play that will win you games. Is it that easy though? That's the question. I'm not saying that because I don't read the future. Arteta might turn it around and play the same football that he played last year, and Arsenal are sensational again. They might go sign the right players in January. You know what I mean? It takes one player, in my opinion, it takes one player for Arsenal to go back to how sensational they were last year. That's the point. But yeah, thank you for
But Mo, isn't it though? Before you move on, isn't it this though? Arsenal fans have been telling every single one of us how great Mikel Arteta is. They now can't go against it. This is where like I'm one of those. I always sit here. I never sort of go too far over here or too far over here. I kind of sit relatively in the middle, and people call me negative for doing it. But Arsenal fans have told every single one of us, rammed it down our throats, how amazing Mikel Arteta is. And now we sit there and go, is this guy as good as it is? Is there better managers? Of course there's better managers out there. Of course there are. There's better managers in the Premier League than him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, Jerry, you wanted to say something about this.
Yeah, I'm saying Spurs, I really like them. I like Ange a lot. I like the signings that you've made. And going back to your point, asking, is that the signing that they need? It might not be that marquee signing that they wanted. It might not be a Todibo or the next up and coming, Virgil van Dijk as centre back. But who's to say that this centre back don't go on to be a really, really good centre back? I mean, we can't be privy to, all the players in the world and the kind of databases that these teams have. And he might be the one alongside Van de Ven that just makes them, much, much stronger defensively. And that might be a really, really strong partnership. From what I've seen from him, obviously from highlights, really, really good player. Passes the ball. Because of how Genoa play, he wasn't really passing the ball into the midfield a lot. It was a lot of passes were along the outside of defenses. That'll be interesting to see whether he has that in his locker, because I know Ange does like kind of vertical passes straight into like Bissouma, Maddison when he's playing in there. But it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see, man. If they exactly big up to MCFC protocol, it might be another Vicario. You know what I mean? A lot of people.
I was just about to say that our recent history in signing from the Serie A hasn't been too bad. Bentancur's done really well at Tottenham. You could argue Kulusevski's a bit of a fan favourite at the club. Hit and miss at times, but I think we've sort of found the right role for him. Vicario has been a breath of fresh air. So you could argue our recent purchases in the Serie A haven't been too bad. So let's just say that. And from Juventus as well, because he came through Juventus. This has all the hallmarks of Paratici, by the way.
Plus, it gives you just depth as well, isn't it? More than anything, now you have the depth of the centre back. Whether he's good enough or not, obviously.
Can I ask you guys something?
The target the right area.
Okay, can I ask you guys something regarding Arsenal before I move on to City, and what do they need if City need anything in this January transfer window? I want to say, guys, over 350 of you here, so hit that like button for us. It makes the channel really go to the next person. It actually gives you more subscribers. So please hit that like button underneath your live chat. Thomas Partey staying from AFCON. Do we think that Thomas Partey is the answer to that midfield, though, from everybody's point of view? If he gets fit, though, within the next week or two, do we think he's the answer to this Arsenal team?
If he performs the way he does in terms of his ability to play penetrating passes, then to a certain extent, yeah, it will be a boost for them. I think Declan Rice, he sometimes doesn't play that final pass or that incisive pass enough for all his qualities. They still need a striker, though. Even if someone's playing the passes to them, if they haven't got anyone finishing them, if they've got Jesus up front that can't hit a barn door, if they've got Saka that can't hit a barn door, and Martinelli that's just loitering around and not really playing that well, then it doesn't really matter. You could have all the creativity in the world. If you ain't got finishers, it doesn't make a difference. So it's an interesting one. I think the dynamic in the midfield is different, as a lot of these Arsenal fans want to say, but it's just the same issue. They haven't got a killer up front. So it doesn't matter. You could put Iniesta in that midfield. If he ain't got no finishes, it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. So
there is a breaking news that is broke like 30 minutes ago. Sergio Reguilon is joining Spurs back from Man United, actually. So Man United sent him back to Spurs. So
some more depth, Perchy. That's some more depth.
I mean,
what more depth for one game a week? Brilliant.
We can't register him. Actually, we've filled our registration. Actually, no, we can. We've let Hugo Lloris go. He's now he's the new left back.
Centre back.
No, we left back.
I actually think it's a
He's
win. I
nice.
actually think it's very good for you. Actually,
Yeah.
He'll be gone. We'll get rid of him. He'll go back out on loan somewhere
I don't
else.
think. I don't think actually he was that bad.
Oh, I've seen enough of him. I mean, it's bad when your most memorable moment at Tottenham Hotspur is that you've got a good-looking wife. I mean, that says absolutely everything about you. I mean, I thought he came in under Jose, and I thought, oh, yeah, I like this kid. Looks good. Not seen anything since, and yeah, he's not great. He doesn't play enough football.
So, yeah.
He can't even get in at Man United. Like, let's be honest, Man United are a shambles, and he can't get in. I mean, they're playing a right back and left back over him. Does that not say enough? They play a right back and left back because of and he sits on the bench.
Yeah, listen, I want to move on to Manchester City and this Kimmich news. Kimmich is might join City. Do we believe that Man City, if they get Kimmich, there is no stopping them?
Oh, if they get Kimmich, that's mad. If they genuinely sign Kimmich, wow. I think he's a top player. I think he is wow. I mean, imagine that Kimmich and Rodri next to each other. Oh, I want to play that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Is that their issue though? Is that a big? I know obviously a good player, but
it's a massive issue for them.
It's a massive issue. They're leaking a lot of goals.
They are lacking a player. They are lacking a player to play the 8 next to Rodri. Okay. And can drop in the 6 when Rodri needs rest. Yeah. It's Joshua Kimmich. It's absolutely Joshua. There is a couple of players in the world that can do this. There are 3 players in the world I believe that they can do this. It might be that are available that you can go and buy. It's Frankie de Jong, who by the way is open to joining Manchester United. Joshua Kimmich, and maybe I don't know, but I don't think they can poach him from Inter, Hakan Çalhanoğlu, because he's 29 years old, and I don't think he would leave our team at all.
But Mo, question, I'll ask you this one, Jerry as well. What you're both here, like, isn't Kimmich exactly everything that they want at Man City?
No, 100%. I actually believe
because he can play at right back and invert into his DM like they do with.
He isn't a right back. He hasn't.
No. I'm not saying he is. My point is the way that Man City play now is their fullbacks invert into midfield and they play this like 2-3 kind of fit. The way that he puts in and it all kind of changes in game. The way he's not a right back, I agree. He's a number 6, number 8 player, but he can do that and he can change the way that they play. Man City, the way that they've completely inverted the fullbacks, they're all tuck in now. Like, I think he's the perfect player for them. I think, and if they do, they're spending big money on him as well.
Yeah, I think, look, Kimmich is a good player. I think any team that gets him, he's going to be a plus because he's just so versatile and he's really, really good.
Just good?
I'm City. Yeah, but he's good, really, really good. He's really, really good. But for me, I'm going with Paqueta. I think if they can get a play, I think if they can get a player, no, but he's not. But look at how West Ham play. He comes and picks up the ball from.
He plays out. He plays down.
He plays out on the left. He plays out on the left. He played on the right for not Lille. He played on the right for Lyon. He played in the 10 for AC Milan, and actually last year, when I went to the game at Liverpool, played in the 6. He played in the double pivot. Again, alongside right. Listen, this guy, when you're talking about someone that has the intelligence to go and defend really well, can play out wide, can play in midfield as well. That player that they were linked with last summer, let's not forget, until the whole betting situation happened. I think that's the player to go and get.
So you would rather them getting Paqueta over Kimmich?
I would do that if that was me. I would personally do that.
How about we have people, 350 people here. First of all, let's get to 200 likes. Hit that like button, people. If you just joined us, the like button. Let's get to 200 likes. It's simple. It doesn't cost you a penny. And now I just want you to tell me one name in the chat. Remove your rival hat off. Just tell me Paqueta or Kimmich for Manchester City. I believe it's Kimmich because of the number 8 and 6. I love Paqueta though, but I believe Paqueta is more offensive than the guy they want. They have a lot of these. They have Foden, they have Julian Alvarez who can play behind, the Bernardo Silva, even Nunez.
But I think Paqueta is different in that regard. I think you're looking at kind of out and out more. Paqueta, he hasn't got this explosive pace and stuff he's not this kind of winger that can play as a number 10 or a striker. He's someone that watch when next time he plays. I know he's injured now. I was at the games. I've been at a few West Ham games. Watch how deep he comes for West Ham. And look at where Kudus is as an example.
Yeah,
look
because
at where
West
Ben
Ham
Rama is.
by nature
But that's
play
my
a deeper team.
but that's my point. That's my point. And why do you think City were going after Paqueta in the summer then? It wasn't opportunistic.
No, I
It wasn't
know.
an
He's a
opportunistic
top
stuff.
player. But I look at it and go, someone put in the chat just a minute ago, big up to you, I can't remember, I just glimpsed it. Isn't he exactly what they have in Bernardo Silva, but the replacement when they get rid of Bernardo Silva and they refresh it and bring in Paqueta? Because I think they play very similarly. Bernardo Silva is not blessed with a load of pace, but he is one of the best players on the football I've ever seen. He's brilliant.
No,
Who is that? Who is that?
Silva.
Bernardo Silva. But I'm saying, I think what Paqueta gives them is, of course, he's not going to play at right back per se, and he can't play as an out and out 6 by himself. Which that's why I said Kimmich is a good player to have. Paqueta can play in the 8. He can play alongside them in the pivot. He can also play out wide when they can have Bernardo Silva going out wide, and he's a player that can rotate amongst a lot of positions. And I think when you look at how City want to go and play, it makes them so unpredictable. It means, all right, Paqueta starting on the left, we're having Grealish on the bench, or Foden's in midfield. Actually, we need a bit more pace up there. Put Foden out wide, we're going to have Paqueta coming deeper, and or we're going to play Paqueta on the right of a midfield because De Bruyne is out. It gives them so much creativity. Like I said, I like Kimmich. I think he's really, really good. I'm just a massive fan of Paqueta, but I've seen him live multiple times. So again, maybe slightly biased.
Yeah, like I believe Paqueta or Kimmich, both of them are very, very good. But do we believe Man City will do that in January? I'm actually not sure.
I don't think they're signing anyone in January.
I'm not sure if they're gonna sign someone that big. Who do Arsenal should get? What Arsenal need? And I want to ask you this last point. We'll go for 5 minutes. If Arsenal have to choose one player, and I want everybody to tell me, is it a midfielder, a striker, or a centre back? People in the chat, Arsenal fans, do you believe Arsenal should sign a centre back, a striker, or a midfielder? What do you guys think?
Oh, striker, and it's not even an argument. It can't be anything else bar a striker. They need a goal scorer. I say it on here all the time, man. And do you know what? This window is going to really determine the ambition of Arsenal in this season, because they could go out and sign. Look, I'll put a few players out here for a real. I'm not saying they can sign any of them, but they could go out and sign a Solanke, good player, but not amazing. Like he'll get you probably 10 goals, 10 maybe 12 goals a season in all competitions. They could go and sign an Ollie Watkins. Going to cost a lot more. Will they be able to price
Ollie Watkins, title contenders with them? They might finish above them, and then
no. I'm not. You're missing the point.
You think Emery is going to tell you, yeah, take my best striker out there. Here you go. You know what I mean?
I'm putting levels here in the sense I'm trying to see what sort of level Arsenal going to go at. Are they going to go at the Bournemouth easy deal, get it done quickly? We can get Solanke 40 to 50 million quid done, job done. But is he the one they need? I don't think so. Is it an Ollie Watkins? I think he's a top player. Will be a very, very hard deal, as you just said, to go and get him done out of Aston Villa. Or do you go and spend big money on an Ivan Toney? Probably easy to get done, but you've got to go and put big, big money on the table. I've just picked 3. You could put anyone else in that bracket however you want to. What level do Arsenal go at to go and sign a striker? I think they have to get a striker in if they want to be in the conversation with the last 5 or 6 games going, we could win the league here. I genuinely think Jesus doesn't score enough. Good technical player doesn't score enough. I still need a new manager. I mean, you could argue that one too. The other one was Nketiah. He's
linked to Crystal Palace. I think Crystal Palace.
He's a bottom half player that would do all right at Palace. He'd be one of those signings. I could end up seeing someone like a Brighton nabbing, and then he actually do an all right job at Brighton or Burnley, those sort of levels. No disrespect to those clubs. That's the level he's at. He's a bottom half Premier League striker. So you need to go and get someone in if you want to have that conversation. But are Arsenal ambitious enough to go and get it done?
Yeah, I just think they need to get someone that scores goals. Like whoever that is. So whether they think a midfielder can get them 15 goals or between 13 and 15 goals between now and the end of the season. I think that makes the difference for them. I think it could be a wide player. It could be on the left. It could be on the right. It could be a number 9. I mean, the question Arteta would have is, who does he see more integral to the system of the team? And I think go from there. So when you look, for example, go back to Liverpool, Bobby Firmino was really, really integral to how Liverpool wanted to play with this false 9 role. So him not scoring goals was fine, but he had to make sure that the wide players were scoring goals. If Arteta wants to look at it like that, Saka's not really scoring goals at the moment, and Mahrez Martinelli. So maybe, someone that just scores goals regularly. It might be a Jarrod Bowen. It might be someone that scores.
Jarrod Bowen's a good player.
15 goals.
Just not a number 9, though, is he? He's not now an out number 9, but I think Jarrod Bowen's a top player.
But
West Ham fighting for top 4. Arsenal.
No, again, I don't think they're going to sign him. I think they've got Arsenal are going to have to be very clever on who they do. I think someone put in the chat, one player I'd be gutted if he went and signed because I like him is that Jimenez at Feyenoord. He's the sort of, you can go, do you know what? 50, 60 million pound, we could prize from Feyenoord and we can get him in. It's all about ambition, right? No player is unavailable. Every player has a price tag. It's all about price tag to value, like in getting to the right balance. They might have to go and overspend Arsenal. They might have to go and spend big money.
What they could do, to be fair, is just try and, like I said, get a striker that can just do the business from now till January. If they can get a striker that can score 12 goals even till now and then assess in the summer.
Who would you get?
Bowen will be a lot. I mean, what is a lot? It's like I said, 60, 70
There's not
million.
many good strikers out there nowadays.
There isn't. If it's me, I'm definitely going with Bowen because I think.
But is he a 9 though? I don't think he's a number 9.
No, you can't be serious. You can't be serious. West Ham aren't selling Jarrod Bowen now.
They won't sell him, no. They're
definitely not selling him.
Money on a Jarrod Bowen.
It's unrealistic. Brentford might sell. Brentford might sell because Brentford are mid-table. Yes, they are fighting.
Brentford would sell Ivan Toney because he's got 1.5 years left on his contract.
Actually, he's renewing the contract. Actually,
he is or he isn't.
Yeah,
he is renewing the contract, and I think they will. So I think the reason why he's renewing the contract. Just to guarantee, so they guarantee the money, and then they
put a release clause in.
Yes, I think.
Right. Okay. Get you.
Yeah.
I actually think that this Ivan Toney will happen in January for Arsenal. They're gonna sell Edin Ketia to Crystal Palace, and then they're gonna put some money and sell him. They're gonna sell Nenny. I believe it's gonna happen.
Do you think that, like, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Like I said, I'm not an Arsenal fan, but for me, Jesus seems like everything Arteta loves in a forward bar.
Yeah, that's why I actually don't think that's what they need.
But that's fair enough. But I'm saying if they're going for a forward, I'm looking at like a Martinelli. I'm looking at like a Saka that are going to get some competition put on their plate, as opposed to a Gabriel Jesus. If they're going to go for a forward, hence why I don't think it will be a number 9. Hence why I don't think it will be a number 9 if they get one this summer. This window anyway. This window.
Okay.
I actually don't think they need they need a striker as another option. Let me just rephrase what I'm about to say. But there is another hole in the team that needs to be filled first before you go and sign a striker, which is the left midfielder. Unless Arteta is going to develop a new system where he plays Partey, if he's ever fit, with Declan Rice. No. I actually think Declan Rice is a 6 and Partey might play the 8, which is he did before. That's my belief. I actually believe that they need that left 8 better because there is a proof that they played last season with Gabriel Jesus and Saka and Martinelli, and they played very well. I think they just need a left 8 to cover Zinchenko when he inverts, a left 8 that will help Martinelli going forward. I think that a left 8 is someone, again, like a De Jong. You go get a De Jong, you go get a Goretzka, even you go get a Kimmich, and you're golden. Can you go and instead of spending 90 million on Ivan Toney to go to Barcelona and spend 70 million pounds, which is 80 million euros, on a De Jong? Barcelona are struggling. Can you do that? Xavi's about to get sacked. Can you go and convince De Jong, who is willing to go to Manchester United? So if you're willing to go to Manchester United, I think Arsenal can convince you to go there.
But they signed Kai Havertz.
It's the key word, isn't it, though, Mo? The key word is ambition. What is the ambition of Arsenal and Mikel Arteta? That's the question, because that's the key word here. Because you're right, I agree. If they got to sign a Frankie de Jong, you go, Arsenal being serious here.
Yes.
But
We
we all,
struggle.
but
And then
we all,
and then
we all
you
see this
get
all
the
time, and then
system
they go
back.
and sign. Then they go
Yeah,
and
but I
sign a
just don't.
Jorginho on a free, and you're like, oh,
Okay,
How
if
do
you
you
say
sign?
no,
But
if you say no, and a lot of people, not you only, but the problem is people tell me a lot of times we want Arsenal to be serious, but then when I give them the serious name, they say, yeah, but they can't pull it off. I'm like, okay, so which one do you want?
yeah, exactly. I agree.
that's
I
mad.
agree.
Like a lot
No,
of
but
people tell me, oh, but Arsenal aren't serious. They aren't signing these names. They aren't going in for. And when you tell them, for example, go spend the money, like Percy just said, or you just said, go spend the money and get me the real deal. They're like, yeah, but that player won't go to Arsenal. Okay, so what do you want them to do then?
yeah,
Yeah.
I think the problem they've got though, and I think Arteta will have this problem, and he's gonna have to live and die by this sword. Is the Kai Havertz signing, your marquee signing that you bought to go and
Yeah.
play in this 8 role or something. You signing now with De Jong to play in that 8 role for 70, 80 million, like you said. Of course,
Yeah,
it's
I get
making
your
a
point.
statement to say, okay, but you're also making a statement saying this guy's not good enough, and I flopped with that. I flopped with that transfer.
Yeah, fine.
That,
It happens
but
all the time.
I don't see that happening. I don't see how you go and make a signing like that with someone like Arteta that you've just spoken about being stubborn, saying actually I got it wrong in the January.
Okay,
now
that's
I'm
why
going to go
maybe
and
they
buy
won't
the
win the
chance to
league
get
then.
in.
Maybe that's what
I mean,
what you just said. Maybe that's why they won't win the league, because he's so stubborn
maybe
like this.
look
I'm
how
serious.
disappointed Mo is. Look how disappointed Mo is.
Because he's very stubborn. Anyway, listen, people, this has been an absolutely great show. Stay on the stream. It will take you to Osam. This is football. And also, please, Perchy, new channel in the
Please.
dugout, in the description. Please go and subscribe to Perchy's channel. Jerry, James, show also in the description. Great videos, great lives, of course, talking about Liverpool and everything, Premier League. In the dugout for Perchy. We're trying to build a channel with him. We're trying to help him get quickly higher in the subscription. So, guys, go and subscribe to him. Thank you, everybody that watched us. Get the likes up to 200 at least. We're on 162 likes. So it's easy for you to like the video and get us to 200 likes. It doesn't cost you a penny. Thank you for everybody that watched us. Thank you for everybody that's supporting the channel on the road to 10K for this channel. Perchy, appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for being here. Jerry, fantastic, JJ. Fantastic appearance, of course. And people, stay on the stream. Don't go anywhere. It will take you to Osam. And we're out of here, people. We'll see you later.